Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to do October-November 2017 Economics 1500. So we'll start with question number 1. So question number 1 to question number 15 is about true or false. So question number 1, it says, the basic economic problem is the reason for the existence of scarcity. Is that true or false? Okay, this is true. The basic economic problem is the existence for scarcity. Okay, scarcity is an example of a basic economic problem, and scarcity means the resources are limited, but human wants and needs are unlimited. So because we want more than what we can have, we have the basic economic problem of scarcity. Let's move to question number 2. Through the study of economics, we seek to answer the question of what, how, and for whom to produce. Yes, this is also true. Question number 2 is true because we have 3 basic economic questions, and those economic questions is what to produce, how to produce, and for whom to produce. So number 2 is true. A supply curve has a positive slope that indicates a direct relationship between the quantity supplied, between the price and the quantity supplied. This is also true. Let me show you on that diagram. Okay, let's have a look here. Oh, my pen. Okay, this is the supply curve. On the horizontal axis, what do we have? We have quantity. We have quantity supplied. On the vertical axis, we have price. And then here is the supply curve. So you come and draw supply. So if they say the supply curve has a positive relationship between the price and the quantity supplied, this is true, because if price is less at P1, this is the market price, what's going to happen? If the suppliers, they see that the market price is less, they will respond in the market by supplying Q1. So because there is less market price in the market, the suppliers will come and respond by supplying less quantity. But if they see that the market price has risen to P2, because they are anticipating for an increase in the revenue, so the suppliers will increase the supply to Q2. So you see, if the market price is less, the quantity supply is less. If the market price is high at P2, the quantity supplied is also high at Q2. So there is a positive relationship between the movement of price and the movement of quantity supplied. So this question will be true. So question number 3, the answer is what? Is true. Question number 4, the law of demand states the relationship between quantity demand and income of consumers. The law of demand states the relationship between quantity demanded and income of consumers. No, this is false. The law of demand states the relationship between quantity demand and market price. Okay, And what does it state? It says if the market price is higher, consumers demand few products, and if the market price is lower, consumers demand lots of product. So it's about the market price and the quantity demanded, not quantity demanded and income. No, so it's false. Let's move to question number 5. With the increase in the wheat crop this year after good rains, more wheat will be supplied at the same price, and supply curve will shift to the right. Okay, there's an increase in wheat because of good rain, so more wheat will be supplied at the same price and the supply curve will shift to the right. This is very much true, so option number 5 is true. If there is good rains, there will be a lot of wheat. So if there is a lot of wheat, so it means there will be an increase in the supply of wheat. So the increase in the supply of wheat will be seen on the shift. So let's have a look here. Okay, it's question number 5. So we're talking about the supply curve. So initially we have the supply curve at S, and then it comes that we have received good rainfall. So good rainfall will shift the supply curve to S1. So the supply curve will shift outwards. Why? Because the increase in rainfall will lead to the increase in quantity of wheat being supplied. So now the increase in the wheat being supplied will shift the supply curve from the original S to S1. So that option is very much true. Let's move to question number 6. Question number 6. The market equilibrium position cannot change if both the demand curve and the supply curve move to the right. Okay, so this is true. The market equilibrium position cannot change if both the demand curve and the supply curve move to the right. It will never change. The thing is what? Let's have a look here. You have your demand curve. This is your demand curve. You also have your supply curve. This is your supply curve. So now what's going to happen is, if they both increase, supply is shifting to the right, and then demand is also shifting to the right. D is moving to D1, supply is moving to S1. So D is shifting to the right. So as you can see here, if this both shift to the right, we have the intersection of point S1 and D1, and the original intersection equilibrium was here. So what does this mean? So if the market equilibrium position cannot change if both the demand curve and the supply curve move to the right. The equilibrium position didn't change because initially we had the equilibrium position at, let me say here is PE, here is PE, and here is QE. So to have the equilibrium position, you must have a situation where the quantity supply is equal to quantity demand. But in this case, the change can only be seen on quantity. So the price remain indeterminate if there is an increase in both demand and supply. So quantity has increased maybe to Q3. So we cannot necessarily say the market equilibrium has changed, because only quantity has changed, price didn't change. So we don't have any new equilibrium. So this is completely true. So the market equilibrium cannot change if both demand and supply move to the right. So it cannot change. So this is very much true. Let's move to question number 7. Let me move here. Question number 7 is based on the sketch above. We have this diagram here. It says rand per bag on the vertical line and then quantity. So question number 7 says refer to the supply curve in the above figure. If the price of oranges changes from 2 rand to 3 rand, the quantity supplied will decrease from 15,000 to 10,000. Okay, so as you can see in our graph, we have a positive slope which is rising from point E to point A. So this slope, it means that as the price the price per bag increases, so does the quantity. At point E, okay, let me verify point D. At point D, we have 2 rand per bag, and then as you can see the quantity is 10,000. And then if you rise to point 3, if you rise to number 3 to 3 rand at point C, you'll see 15,000 quantity. So it means the increase in the price per bag leads to the increase in the quantity. So now question 7 says refers to the supply curve in the diagram above. If the price rises from 2 rand to 3 rand, the quantity will decrease from 15 to 10. So this is definitely false, because the quantity is also increasing from 10,000 to 15,000 if the price is rising from 2 rand to 3 rand. So this is false. Let's move to question number 8. Ceteris paribus is a Latin term used to state that all other variables are assumed to remain the same when we try to determine the effect of price changes on quantity demanded and quantity supply. Okay, question number 8, it's very much true. Remember, ceteris paribus is a Latin word. So ceteris paribus is a Latin word which says that ceteris paribus, it's a Latin word. So in our situation, they're saying ceteris paribus refers to all other variables assumed to remain the same. So it's the same as all other factors remaining the same or holding other factors constantly. So this one is used to invoke the law of demand and the law of supply, because the thing is we have many factors that can affect the law of demand and the law of supply, because as time evolves, things tend to change. So the law of demand and the law of supply, so they might not be relevant to the current economic situation. So ceteris paribus stands to support those laws. So it means question number 8 is gonna be true. So let's move to question number 9. Question number 9 says an upward shift of the supply curve implies a drop in price and an increase in the quantity supplied. Okay, upward shift of the supply curve implies a drop in the price. And so let me tell you something here. Supply on supply we have like this. This is the supply curve. Okay, we have a movement along the supply curve. Let me say here's point A, here's point B. Okay, so the movement along the supply curve triggers affects quantity supplied, and here we have the market price. So what they say, if price is at P1, suppliers are able to supply Q1. Okay, and if price is at P2, suppliers are willing to supply Q2. So we can see price affects quantity supplied by triggering a movement along the supply curve. So it means price affects quantity supply. And we have the factors that affects a shift in the supply, like this. You have the original supply here. So the factors that affect a shift in the supply is what is let's say technology improvement, and then we have decreasing the cost of production. You can say input cost. It also affects supply. So price affects quantity supplied by causing a movement along the demand curve. So what I'm trying to say is that only price can affect quantity supply, but the factors that can affect a shift in supply, they cannot affect what? Quantity supply. They only affect supply, not quantity. So here on the horizontal axis we have supply, we don't have quantity supply. Okay, and then now here maybe you can write technology or input cost. So this is false, because if price drop, there will be an increase in quantity supply. It's true that there will be an increase in quantity supply, but the increase in quantity supply will be shown through the movement along the supply curve, not by a rightward shift. A rightward shift will be affected by technology or input cost, not price. So that is why I'm saying question number 9, the answer is false, because price affects quantity supply by causing a movement along the supply curve, not a shift of the supply curve. So the answer is definitely false. Let's move to question number 10. I'm gonna have to run because it seems like the minutes here are running. So if question number 10, if the value of price elasticity of demand for blue pens lie between 0 and 1, the demand for blue pens price elasticity, okay, the value of price elasticity of if the value of the price elasticity of demand for blue pens lies between 0 and 1, the demand for blue pens is price elastic. Okay, so if we're dealing with price elastic, let's have a look here. Elastic, it is a price elasticity of demand that is greater than 1. So now if they say the value of price elasticity is lying between 0 and 1, so it means that value actually is not greater than 1, because the value that is greater than 1 should start from 1 and above. So it means the answer is gonna be false, because the price elasticity of demand is always greater than 1 when it is elastic. But if it's inelastic, what's gonna happen? If it's inelastic, PED, price elasticity of demand, is less than 1. So it means whatever they've given us here is for inelastic. Okay, let's move to question number 11. The balance of payment is one of the yardsticks used to determine whether South Africa has achieved the objective of full employment. Really? So you cannot use balance of payment to measure whether South Africa has achieved full employment. So full employment can be measured using other ways, but not balance of payment. Okay, balance of payment is about the imports and the exports, not about the employment. Let's move to question number 12. Question number 12 says, in microeconomics, we start the change in price and quantity of milk in South Africa and try to explain the changes in the market. Okay, yes, this is very much true. Question number 12 is true. In microeconomics, we focus on the price and quantity, production, and establishment of businesses. Yeah, this is true. Question number 13. In the South African context, the two most important macro objectives are full employment and economic growth. Yes, we have basically for the microeconomic objective, which is full employment, economic growth, price stability, and balance of payment stability. So this is true. Question 13 is true. Question 14, it says, let me disappear this one. Question 14 says, double counting can be prevented if we add all prices in the production process of a motor car. Okay, this is also true. Remember, in GDP, we have the problem of double counting. Like, we count the market price from the producer, from the wholesaler, to the retailer, till the buyer. So if we can calculate all the market price and we use the value added of the retailer and a customer, so it means double counting will be prevented. So this is true actually. No, number 14 is not true. I'm so sorry. Number 14 is false. Double counting can be prevented if we add all the prices in the production process. No. If we add all the prices in the production process, we'll actually making a double counting. Okay, so from the manufacturer of a vehicle, you count the market price. The vehicle will supply to the car dealers, you count the market price, and the car dealers will supply to the sellers, and then we count the market price. So the market price should be counted from the sellers to the customer, not from all the production process. So you will be actually double counting the figures. So this is false. Number 14 is false, option 2. Number 15, the GDP is the best indication we have of the level of economic activity maintained during a specific period. The GDP is the best indication we have for the level of economic activities maintained. So this is false. GDP only measures the value of output of goods and services produced in a country during the year or in a given period, especially a year. So it's the value of output of goods and services produced, not the level of economic activities. Oh, no. Okay. Number 16, economic production and distribution problems in various economic systems are solved as follows. In a command economy, The market advises by numerous subordinates committee and takes decision. In a command economy, option number 1, we have government here that is in charge. Okay, option number 2, in a market economy, these decisions are motivated by the collective public's interest. So in a market economy, we have private companies that has nothing to do with public interest, so it's also wrong. In question 16, option number 3, in a mixed economy, these decisions are taken in the market but tempered by the government. So a mixed economy, it is a private company and a government intervention. This is true. So market economy is about private, and then government intervention is about command economy. So this is very much true. Question number 17. Select the statement that will always be correct. In a market economy, the market, so in a market economy, remember, we have private companies. So option number 1 is a physical place where buyers and sellers meet to agree on prices. Let's check option 2. It's a national invisible place where potential buyers and sellers worldwide meet with each other. Let's check number 3. Warns producers and for increasing. Let's check number 4. Brings together the buyers and sellers to establish the price and the quantity of goods. So it's option number 4. Question 17, it's option 4. Now question 18 and 19 is based on the diagram above. So on the diagram above, point number C, it's we have households. Households is customers in the market, and on B we have firms or businesses. On A we have factors for the factor market. So let's move with the dotted line starting from C. So from C we have the households. So the dotted line, when it moves to A, it means the households, they go to the market for factor of production at point A, where they provide labor. So this labor at point A will be employed by the businesses at point B. So we are moving with the dotted line. So the businesses at point B, they will use the labor to produce goods and services which they will sell at the market for consumer goods and services. Okay, so the market for consumer goods and services will be sold to the household. So the dotted line, it indicates the flow of goods and services, but the bold line, as you can see, starting from B, the bold line, we have point number G. Point number G, it shows an expenditure where the businesses or the firms, they have to pay wages to the factor market, which is labor. So when they pay wages to the factor market, which is labor, that wage, it will be an income to the households at point C. So households at point C, moving along the board line, at point E they will make expenditure because they will have to buy goods in the market for consumer goods and services, and that expenditure from point E, it will be an income to firms at point F. So it's like you are working from Checkers give you the salary, and at the same time you'll also come back to Checkers and buy grocery. So this is what's happening here. So question number 18, in the above diagram, households represented by, so households is point number C, and then business is point number B. So it's gonna be option number 1. Okay, in the above diagram, the flow of goods and services is represented by, so the flow of goods and services is represented by the dotted line. Okay, the dotted line is for goods and services, and then the solid line is for money flow. Okay, number 20, we have to use the diagram above. A graph illustrates the data. A graph illustrating the data in the above table. Okay, the data in the above table with the years starting from 2005 to 2015, and our data is increasing from 2005 to 2016. So we have a positive relationship here. As the years increase, the number of cars sold was also increasing. So we can say option number 1 is known as a linear curve, indicates a positive relationship. So it's option number 1. The answer is option number 1, question 20. Question 21, the quantity of any product we plan to buy depends on. So what you plan to buy, the quantity of product you plan to buy depends on the market price. So remember, price affects quantity. So I think it's option number 1, the price of that product as well as the price of the related good. So it's gonna be option number 1. Question number 22, the quantity of goods a producer plans to, let me see how many minutes. Oh my god, 31 minutes. Okay, it's fine. The quantity of goods a producer plans to sell on the market. Quantity of goods, obviously it will be about price. So it's option number it's option number it's option number 3. The quantity of goods, yes, it's option number 3, the price of complement products. So let's have a look here. The quantity of goods a producer plans to sell on the market depends on. So wherever there is quantity, remember quantity is only affected by the market prices. So the price of the complement product will affect the quantity. Technology, income, availability of substitute, these ones, they will only affect supply, not quantity supplied. Okay, the law of demand, question 23, explains, option number 1, explains the substitution, no. Option number 2, illustrate the upward, no. Option number 3, explains why consumers buy more eggs when the price of eggs increase, is also no. Explains why the demand curve will shift to the right when the price decrease. So remember, on the law of demand, if prices are high, consumers demand less. So option number 4 is true. Question 24, the supply curve will shift to the right when the price of product increase. Remember, price has nothing to do with the shift of the supply. So option number 1 is wrong. The technology used in the production improves. Remember when I said technology can affect the supply, so it means this option will be true. Like I said here, where did I write this stuff here? Yeah, technology affect the shift, input costs also affect the shift. Okay, price only affect the movement of the supply. So it means question number 24, the correct answer is option 2. So let's move to question number 25. At question number 25, we have demand curve and supply curve. And then as we can see on question number 25, they're saying the demand schedule was used to draw the demand curve for the newspapers will indicate the following quantity demand per price. So option number 4, option number 4 is true. When 5 newspapers at 5 rand, okay, let's see, at 5 rand, the quantity demanded of 5, yeah, it's option number 4. Okay, let me draw something for you here. Question number 25. Question number 25. Because as it seems like the graph is not visible enough. So this is demand, this is supply, sorry. This is supply, this is demand. So if you look at 5 rand, because the units are going by 246, so let me put it at 5 rand. It seems like if you move from 5 rand, you have 5 quantity of units being demanded. So at 5 rand, there is 5 quantity of units being demanded. So that's why I'm saying the option is true, because from 5, when you move along the line here, when you reach the demand curve, you see it's only 5 quantities being demanded. So other options, they are not matching. So it's option number 4, question 25. Let's move to question 26. At a price of 6 rand, there will be, at a price of 6 rand, so if you look at the price of 6 rand, let me show you something here. Here the price is 5 rand, here the price is 5 rand. Okay, so our price is 5 rand. If price goes to 6 rand, let me say 6 rand is somewhere like here, 6 rand. So do you see 6 rand? So we have this space here, and then the first intersection is supply curve here, and the other intersection is demand curve here. So this space indicates the difference between the quantity here. So the difference between the quantity, it will be an excess demand or the shortage. So when price is at 6 rand, we have a shortage of, because if you look at 6 rand, when we intersect the supply curve, the price is basically at 2. It's basically at 2. At 6, when we intercept the supply curve, the price is at 2 at the quantity Q. And then when we move along that price of 6 rand, we'll see the interception on the demand curve is at 4. So if you say 4 minus 2, you'll get excess demand of 2. So we have excess demand of 2 newspapers, so it's going to be option number 1. Okay, let's move to question number 27. What will the effect be on an increase in the price of newspapers delivered by electronic media? So price of newspapers delivered by electronic media. So remember, now you delivering the newspapers using electronic media, so it means technology has positively affected the supply of news. So the supply curve will shift to the left. No. The demand curve will shift to the right. No. There will be a movement. Option number 4, there will be a movement to the right along the supply curve. Yes, so remember, price and supply, they go hand in hand, and quantity supply. So an increase in the price will cause a movement, so it's option number 4. Let's move to question number 28. An increase in the demand for fried chicken, ceteris paribus. Okay, the demand for fried chicken, they didn't say quantity demand, so obviously it's about the shift of the demand curve. So option number 1, it shows the shift of the supply curve. Option number 2 is the only one that is showing a shift of the demand curve by increasing. So the answer is option number 2, question 28. The ceteris paribus condition is used, okay, by economics to invoke the law of demand. This is true. So 29 is 1. Let's move to question 30. When the demand for and supply of oranges increase at the same time, if demand and supply increase at the same time, remember price remain what? Indeterminate, or price remain uncertain, and the quantity will also increase. So it's gonna be option number it's gonna be option number 1. The direction no, option number 1 is wrong. The price will increase, but the direction of change in quantity, no, option number 3. The quantity will increase, but the direction of change in price is, so the answer is option number 3. Option number 3. If supply and demand of orange increase, quantity will also increase, is true, but price will be indeterminate or uncertain. So it's option number 3. Question number 30. Question number 31. When the demand for oranges increases but the supply decreases at the same time. So question number 31 is gonna be demand oranges increases and supply decrease. So it means there will be excess supply and the market price will decrease. So price will decrease and quantity will be uncertain. So quantity will be uncertain, price direction, it's option. The price will increase, but the direction of change in quantity is uncertain. The quantity will increase. The quantity will the question 31. The demand for oranges increase and the supply decrease. Demand has increased and supply has decreased, so it means there is excess demand. So wherever there is excess demand, price will increase, and then the quantity will be uncertain. So price will increase, but the direction of quantity will be uncertain. So question 31 is option 2. Let's move to price elasticity of demand. Price elasticity of demand measures the percentage change in quantity demanded over the percentage change in price. So option number 1 and option number 2, they are definitely wrong. So let's look at option number 3. Is the percentage change in the quantity demanded of a product if the price of the product changed by 1%? So it's option number 3. Okay, question number 33. Which of the following statement is correct? The price elasticity of demand is always negative because quantity demand are positive. Option number 1 is wrong. Question number 33. Option number 2. The price elasticity of demand for maize, which is a staple food, can be expected to be higher than the luxurious. This is also wrong. The price elasticity of demand t-shirts is expected to be higher than the price elasticity of designer jacket. Okay, if the demand not price elasticity, it means that the quantity demand will change a lot for even a smaller change. This is false. So let's have a look at question number 2, option 2 and 3. The price elasticity of demand for maize, which is a staple food, can be expected to be higher than the price elasticity of demand for truffle oil, which is a luxurious goods. Okay, for luxurious goods, the price elasticity of demand is very high because customers are very sensitive to luxurious goods. So number 2 is wrong. So option number 3 is correct. Let's move to 34. The economy of countries that average income consumer increasing electricity. Which one of the following can Alex use to help decide how much electricity to provide in the future given the price elasticity for so it's actually option number 2 because they are talking about the income of consumers, so it's about income elasticity for the electricity. Okay, let's move to the question 35. Question 34 is option 2. Question 35, when the price of a product A increases by 10% and the quantity of product increases by 5%, so we have a positive relationship, so it's about the elasticity of supply here. Which of the following statement is correct based on the information? Product A and B are complements. Okay, product A and B are substitute. So yes, product A and B are substitutes. Substitutes is a positive relationship. If the price of another increase, the demand of another will also increase. So it's option number 2, question 35. Let's move to question 36. Question 36, which of the following is correct? Okay, when the quantity supply does not change at all, when the price of product change, we say the price elasticity of supply is. Okay, when the quantity supply does not change at all, when the price of a product change, we say the price elasticity of supply is perfectly inelastic. So quantity supply is not changing, price is changing, so it's perfectly inelastic. So this is true. It's option number 1. Gross domestic product is equals to total production. So gross domestic product is equals to option number 4, consumption plus investment plus government spending plus exports minus imports. Okay, because GDP, we're talking about the value of output we produce in a country. So the imports, we don't produce them in a country. So it's option number 4. So X is for exports, Z is for imports. Okay, so the correct option is for question 37. And question 38, a change in real gross domestic product, which is a real GDP, indicates a change in production per worker, indicates the informal sector, no. Account for the changes in the economic growth of different, no. Indicates changes in quantity of product and services that was produced. Okay, so the real GDP indicates the change in the quantity of product and services that was produced. So option number 4 is very much true. And then let's move to question, I think I will have to skip question 39. I don't have enough space in my phone, so I have a lot of minutes actually which has passed. Let's move to question number 40. Which of the following applies to both consumer price index and the PPI, producer price index? Let's have a look on the question number 40. Which of the following applies to both the CPI, consumer price index, and the PPI, producer price index? Option number 1 is the only option that is correct, because if you can see at option number 1, it says it measured at the first significant commercial transaction. So CPI, we're talking about the price of the goods and services that a typical consumer buy. And then producer price index, we're talking about the price of the imported products or the price of the good that a producer is selling. So it's about the first significant transaction of the commercial in the commercial market. So it's option number 1, question 40. And question 41 is about unemployment. The unemployment rate in country X based on the strict definition is. So how do you calculate unemployment based on the strict definition? So let's put it, unemployment on strict definition is equals to is number of unemployed looking for job divided by the number of unemployed looking for job plus the employed people times 100. So in our information, as you can see here, they're saying number of employed people is 4 and number of unemployed who actively been seeking for employment is 1 million. So unemployed looking for job is 1 million. So it's 1 million over the unemployed not looking for job is 1 million plus the employed people. The employed is 3 million. So 1.5 million, they are unemployed but they are not looking for jobs, so we don't include them. So times 100, so it's gonna be 1/4 times 100, so it's gonna be 25%. So option number 1, question 41, is the correct answer. So it's gonna be 25%. Let's move to 42. Sam worked as a miner. Okay guys, I think I'm running out of space. Some other stuff here I won't be able to do them, so good luck with what I did. I'm running out of space actually, so the video is about to cut here, so